For us, it's difficult to understand. The law, the bill was passed in '95.
Yes.
And why year after year this law wasn't put at work, wasn't functional? How to say?
Well, there were certain people in Congress at the time who added a presidential waiver. It was President Clinton at the time. He was threatening to veto this bill. I mean, after all, in the division of the branches of our government, the separation of power between the parliament, legislature, and the executive and the judicial, that, you know, it's the executive that has the recognition power, has the power to recognize different countries. And this bill was sort of stepping on his powers, but Congress has a say in foreign policy, and that was our position. But towards the end, some people who were trying to protect President Clinton forced an addition to the bill that said the president can waive its effectiveness. He can basically suspend the bill every 6 months if he certifies that it's in America's national security interest. Now, when has the location of where we place an embassy been a matter of national security? And it really shows that the reasons the nations have not come up to Jerusalem, which is the right thing to do, they all do business here anyway. Your governments, you know, they spend a lot of money traveling up to Jerusalem every day. There are officials from Tel Aviv, a lot of gas, a lot of wasted time coming up here because it's the de facto government, the de facto place they meet with Israeli officials. But they don't want to give it official, formal, de jure, in-law recognition because they were afraid of the Arab and Muslim reaction. And, you know, it's a national security interest because you're afraid the Muslims are going to riot and such. And President Trump has finally challenged this. He's tested it, and there have been some protests. But most of the Arab and Muslim world has said, look, this is probably going to happen at some point, and moving the embassy up, you know, we can live with that. It's if you touch the Temple Mount, that's the most sensitive issue. That would really rile the Muslim world, but that hasn't happened yet.